Jolly Joseph, woman who murdered 6 members of her own family, including a 2-year-old baby. How she carried out these murders will shock you. Jolly Joseph was born in 1972 in Kerala, India. She grew up in a traditional setting with strong community values. Despite her ordinary upbringing, she was involved in manipulation early on. She forged her educational qualifications by creating fake certificates and documents reflecting her educational journey. Jolly Joseph loved it when others showed her respect. Jolly met Roy Thomas in 1997 at his uncle's house in Idukki's Kattapana district, and the duo got married soon after. Roy was the son of Tom Thomas, a retired teacher who had worked with the state education department, and Anama Joseph, also a retired teacher. The bride of a highly educated family that was well respected in Kudathai. Jolly, or Jolly Amma, is alleged to have felt pressure to earn her place. She pretended to work as a lecturer in the Commerce Department at an institute in NIT Calicut in Mukkam for more than a decade, but did not really have a job. She drove towards the college every single day and sometimes would just sit around in the canteen. But within years, Jolly felt threatened by her position in the house, wanting to corner the family's wealth, and that is how the murders began, according to the police. Anama Thomas was a school teacher. Anama always wanted Jolly to get a job. Jolly lied to the family, saying that she holds a M.Com degree. Anama didn't want her talent to be wasted, not knowing that she lied to the family about her educational qualifications. Jolly was so bothered that Anama would find out that Jolly doesn't hold any of the qualifications she mentioned to the family. To avoid that happening, Jolly killed Anama by mixing cyanide in the soup that was served to Anama. The family members assumed that the death was natural due to heart failure, so no post-mortem was conducted. 6 years later, the second murder in the family occurs. Tom was a senior clerk in the education department. Tom owned a decent amount of land. Property tensions led Jolly to kill her father-in-law. She was afraid that the land might be transferred to her brother-in-law, Roho. Tom was in Colombo, Sri Lanka, where Renji, his daughter, lived with her family. With the fear that the land might be transferred, Jolly called Tom, saying that she was pregnant. This made Tom want to fly back and stay with Jolly. Knowing it was a great time to execute her plan, she gave Thomas cyanide through a capsule that he used to take. She convinced the family members by saying that he passed away due to cardiac arrest. Jolly managed to achieve her goal by establishing that she managed to get possession of her father-in-law's title deeds and concocting a forged will. The next murder was 3 years apart. Roy knew about the relationship between MS Matthew and Jolly. He inquired about it with Jolly, which led to her dissatisfaction. Jolly prepared a meal for him with cyanide in the curry and served it to Roy one night. He was soon found lying on the floor unconscious, vomiting and frothing from his mouth. Roy passed away on arrival at the hospital. Manchadial, Roy's uncle, suspected something was suspicious. He then managed to get an autopsy done, which revealed the presence of cyanide in Roy's body. But the autopsy was handed over to Jolly, making it easy for her to cover up Roy's cause of death. Jolly managed to convince the police that Roy was an alcoholic and had taken his life due to falling into a huge debt. Manchadial was not happy with the deaths that were happening in the family, which included his sister, brother-in-law, and nephew. He also found out about Jolly's relationship with MS Matthew. This made him Jolly's next target. Police said after Roy's death, Jolly wished to marry Shaju, who was the son of Tom Thomas's brother. She was attracted by Shaju's calm demeanor and his pro-profession as a teacher. Hence, she killed Shaju's 2-year-old daughter Alphine and later wife Celie. A person had witnessed Jolly handing over food to Alphine in the kitchen when the feast for the Holy Communion of Shah's son was progressing at their house at Kodinchuri. This witness has conveyed this crucial information to the probe team. Reports show that Alphine was given cyanide. Jolly planned to kill Silly so she could marry Shaju. Jolly took advantage of Alphine's death and became close to Silly. She also advised Silly to take mushroom capsules that her father-in-law used to take for his health, as they help relieve depression. One day, Silly, Shaju, and Jolly were at the dentist's clinic, where Jolly insisted that Silly take one of the mushroom capsules, not knowing that the capsule contained cyanide. Silly was admitted to the hospital with respiratory failure, and she died a few hours later after being admitted. Renji, Jolly Joe's sister-in-law, had always been suspicious about the sudden deaths in her family and the similarities with each death. After Silly's death, Renji reported her suspicions about Jolly's involvement in the murders. The only post-mortem that had been conducted was her brother's Roy. Renji eventually gets to know that Jolly lied about Roy's death. She found out that in the post-mortem, it is stated that he died due to the intake of cyanide. Renji made a decision to have Jolly investigated. Jolly was arrested on October 5, 2019, and confessed to all her crimes. Her lover, Matthew, was also arrested for providing her cyanide. During the investigation, it was revealed that Matthew wasn't aware of these murders. He only handed over cyanide because Jolly told him she needed it to kill the dogs near her house.